Despite his first post-Kiss solo album not exactly going over well, Peter Criss decided to do another solo album pretty quickly. He made sure Vinnie Poncia was available to produce, who handled picking the material and the arrangements. Peter said in his book that this was because Poncia wanted Peter to focus on singing, not drumming or writing songs. Regardless of the reason, Peter only ended up co-writing 2 songs on this album, and Stan Penridge's name is nowhere to be found. The album, Let Me Rock You, was released internationally in 1982, but would not see a US release until 1998. Before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe, and you can support the channel on Patreon. This was written by Tommy Farragher, Davey Farragher, and Bree Howard. I instantly kind of hate the production. It sounds small and corny. As far as the song itself, it's decent, maybe. I don't know. I think it's pretty lame and dated. This was written by Vinnie Vincent and Adam Mitchell. This song is kind of proof that maybe Poncia and Peter weren't the best team. The song's a good example of how talented Vinnie and Mitchell were. It's a pretty good, catchy chorus, like it's a great hook, but the arrangement makes it pretty cheesy. I feel like I could love this song in a different package. It's one of the better songs, but it ends up not quite working. This was written by Poncia and Peter. It's really cheesy and I kind of hate it. The big note I wrote while I was listening to it for this review was, how long is this album? I'm 3 songs in. Written by John Lennon, this is a cover of a Lennon song from the Imagine album. This is another example of good writing being failed by weak production and a cheesy arrangement. It sounds kind of dorky and whatever. This was written by Charlie Midnight, Cash Monet, and Jeff Schoen. The chorus is okay, very 80s. It's a pretty cheesy song and I don't care for it. Halfway done. This was written by Russ Ballard. It's interesting how much Kiss-related stuff was written by Ballard. This isn't awful, but it's not one of the better songs Ballard has written. This was written by Ballard. So this song is so corny and kind of awful that it circles back around to being fun. It's really silly, but I can get into it. This was written by Steve Stevens, who is Billy Idol's guitarist. He also plays guitar on the track, and his solo is good. Other than that, this song is so boring. This album was putting me to sleep at this point. This was written by Gene Simmons. I believe it is a leftover from the Unmasked sessions. Poncia convinced Peter to record it. But maybe Gene's leftovers were a bad idea. It's fine, I guess. I'm so over this album. This was written by Peter and Jim Roberge. Its chorus is halfway decent, but the song is still lame and boring. As I said, the album was not released initially in the US. Wikipedia claims it was due to the poor sales of Out of Control, but doesn't list a source. Peter says he was blackballed. This album did chart in Norway, though. I really don't like this album. The biggest problem is the production, which is, as I said earlier, small and very cheesy. Even the songs that are decent end up not working because of it. The whole thing feels very goofy, but not even like a fun cheesy outside of the title track. It's just really boring. I don't think much of Peter as a songwriter, but the plan to have him not write a whole lot seems to have backfired. This is quite a bit worse than his first 2 albums, and even though I don't love either of those albums, they at least had moments on them that I thought really worked. This doesn't. Overall, I think this album is unremarkable. Nothing really stands out or is interesting. It's mostly an absolute chore to listen to. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and thank you for watching.